Hey guys, how's it going? I just want to talk about the Alex Myers kind of scandal going on. Well, for anyone who doesn't know, he's a YouTuber who does animation videos and he reviews movies and does these like cartoons over them and does a little like some load of funny jokes about it. However, in recent weeks, he's kind of been embroiled in a bit of a scandal where he did a review of Obsession, the movie Obsession, which is really good by the way. And he kind of portrayed the man in the film, who is Bear, as this kind of unfairly, overly criticized um, guy. And he almost like relates to him for a lot of this review, which is kind of creepy and disturbing. But anyway, he did like a follow up video where he complained about like the hate he's getting, some of the messages he got, and like no one should send anyone nasty hate messages. However, his response was even more pathetic, I think, than the original video. I mean, he clearly does not understand what he's gone wrong at, where he's gone wrong in it. Like the post he recently made, he talked about how he won't make inappropriate jokes anymore, and he will make, he won't make inappropriate jokes, or he won't like try and review films where his style of humor is not appropriate for it, and like I think he could have done a valid movie review in his style, but he obviously shouldn't have been cracking jokes at inappropriate parts. But the biggest problem was like his entire perspective on one, women, on two, the way men treat women, and three, like the idea of consent. Like all of those things throughout the whole video. It wasn't just one joke he cracked. It was just how he talked about women, how he talked about Nikki in the film, how she's almost the antagonist, or that she almost like leads Alex. He almost leads Bear. She almost leads Bear on, which is kind of a psychotic viewpoint I think to take. And anyway, he just the way he talks about let's talk about women. He talks about women kind of so Indy Navarrete is the actress who plays Nikki in the film, and she's great. She is great, but the problem is he kind of almost fetishizes her. Yeah, he treats her as like a fetish, like Latino woman. He talks about how, oh, come on, Bear, you've got your crystal Latino mummy now. It's kind of disgusting. But anyway, he talks about how he's like got what he wants with Nikki, and how everyone would want a Latino mummy or whatever he keeps saying. It's kind of like gross how he mainly fetishizes his Latino woman, and I feel like if you're a Latino woman watching it, it'd be really uncomfortable to watch that video. I mean, the way he describes them is kind of disgusting, and how he also like makes the female animated characters on his YouTube videos quite sexualized. I think with like really short skirts, and like I don't know, he almost implies like they're a little bit dumb and stupid in his videos as well. The way he just kind of talks about women, like full stop in that video, is kind of disgusting. Like the objectification. Then how obviously one of the biggest problems is like the idea of lack of consent. Like he says, "Well, Bear, you've got what you want. Why do you feel aggrieved by it?" And he also applauds Bear for practically not assaulting Nikki earlier on in the movie. It's like as if that's like a great thing to praise him, a man on. Like it's kind of psychotic. And anyway, yeah, the way he draws the woman, he talks about women, how she was in Nikki in the film was like leading Bear on a little bit. No point was she leading Bear on. It's kind of a crazy view to take. I mean, she literally said how in the film she viewed Bear as more like a brother figure, and even when Bear understands this and realizes this, he still treats Nikki terribly, and that he'd rather keep Nikki in this demonic controlled robotic version of her than set her free and let her not be with him. Like he's obsessed with this just idea of Nikki, as a lot of other good YouTubers have said, and it's just shocking that he like continues to defend Bear throughout the movie. And I mean, he's taken the video down now, so I haven't managed to see all of it, but I've seen other people review his YouTube video, and I've seen a lot of it. But it's just how he almost like relates to Bear in a way, which is a little bit scary, and how like almost there's like this blame attributed to Nikki the character, and how Bear could not have, if she kind of like not just led him on, but like acted a certain provocative way that almost invited this kind of like Bear's kind of psychotic possessive attitude on Nikki, which is a little bit scary. And again, like, just the idea that, like, he kind of skips over all the terrible parts of the film that Bear does, like obviously the assault, not wanting to cancel the wish. He talks about Bear just wanting to change. Sorry, he doesn't talk about Bear wanting to just change or alter the wish rather than actually cancel the wish outright. That's very scary, and like he skips all the worst parts of Bear and kind of represents Bear as this misguided, uh, poor guy who was like, kind of like just really shy. But that whole facade drops the second, like in that diner scene or restaurant scene, that he finds out that Nikki is under control of his what is it, the Willow Wish, and like he doesn't seem to care about this. He almost Alex Myers kind of just portrays Bear as like this. He's almost like the victim of this, and like he does everything he can. No, he doesn't. And then in one scene as well, he says how like Nikki asked Bear to kill him, and he says, well, obviously Bear can't do that. I'm like, well, yeah, but he could try other things. Like he could try to get other people to use the One Wish Willow. He could try to get other members of his friendship group to kind of help out with this, to help Nikki out instead of just abandoning her when he's bored of her and then like coming back to use her when he wants her. Like he treats her as like almost subhuman, and Alex Myers, the YouTuber, kind of portrays this as like, well, this is kind of like what women are used for, and how he's like Bear wanted her to be like Nikki to be like this, so why is he complaining? As if all the terrible things that are happening to Nikki, and how she's like not washing herself, not being a little bit crazy, cooking his cat or whatever, all of these things are just like normal behavior for slightly crazy women or something, or that like, oh, those are just small things to push to the side and not worry about, because at the end of the day he's got his, as Alex continues to say, his crystal Latina mommy. I don't even know what that means. Does anyone know what that means? Someone in the comments could maybe put that down. I have no idea what that means. But yeah, the way he kind of just, he continues to defend Bear and say how like, defends how Bear, like, he tried to cancel the mission. No, he didn't do everything he possibly could do. And like he misses out again, even at the end, I think, where Bear refuses to try and kill himself. You know, he's a bit of a coward in the end, and again, he does not really show any remorse. Bear, he only shows remorse in the film for like the situation he's in. He only wants to ever improve his situation and his perception of Nikki. And finally, like in terms of the inappropriate jokes that Alex says, he also makes a kind of a joke about how she's starfished, or she's a bit of a starfish or something, maybe in bed. It's kind of like a supposed joke about how a woman may just lay in bed and like not do anything, which is absolutely disgusting in itself. But then on top of that, it's the scene where he assaults Nikki when she's under control of the Wish Willow. Like that's probably one of the worst parts of his video, and it's absolutely disgusting that he doesn't take that seriously, and like the fact that he doesn't view that scene as like something serious or something that he could possibly joke about is horrifying. And obviously he did a follow-up video which is now deleted along with the original video, but I just saw a post that he did where he was saying, I'm sorry for making inappropriate jokes, and that he basically was an apology that he's sorry that people felt he should say sorry, which is pretty ridiculous. So he clearly hasn't like learned he hasn't learned his lesson, why people were disturbed by his video. Like, he comes across as an insult. I'm not gonna lie, that is basically what it comes across as. And surprise, shock. I mean, like, I don't know what goes on in his personal life. I don't know why he got divorced, but apparently he is divorced as well. I mean, I can't see him being in a relationship with a woman if he talks about women like that. But anyway, Alex just said basically how he's sorry that people felt he should say sorry, and that he will choose his words more carefully next time. That's not the problem with the video. It's that your whole perspective on women, consent, and how you kind of almost justify abusers as long as they like get the rewards is kind of a deranged viewpoint, and that he comes across. Some people are saying how this film is obsession is a good like litmus test for men, and to see how they react to it, to see what they're kind of like. And not Bear. Ironically, I say Bear. Alex kind of comes across like an incel, and I think he sort of is based on this video. And then some people have done reviews of other videos of his where he kind of talks about women in a little bit of an inappropriate way, and how he's a little bit gross when he reviewed that there was this kid movies with dolls, and he was saying how their shirts, their skirts are too short and stuff, and it's a bit like, anyway. I just think he still hasn't got to. That's the scariest part of this. That he hasn't got to grasp why his video was so wrong, and that he hasn't really come out and apologized for how he talks about women. How I think he just needs to reset how he thinks about women consent and how men behave in these certain situations. Like, he almost offended when Bear thought that Nikki was on drugs. He said, "Well, oh, there you go. She was on drugs. Like, he didn't do anything too crazy." Well, he did make out with her, so again, he is taking advantage of her there when she's under the influence. And the fact he doesn't seem to have any problems with that is pretty scary. And one other thing he did say, he also said how women almost fantasize about these kind of ideas as well, just as much as men or something, which is deeply disturbing. Like, no, they don't. And I feel this is kind of just like this video Alex Myers did is like an insight into his perspective on women, on how he perceives women and how little he thinks of them. So yeah, I just think there's a few great YouTube videos on this. I just wanted to speak about it on here as well. I mean, I'd love to hear what people think of it. Like, it's just maybe I might watch some of his other videos to see how he kind of talks about women in those videos as well. But I mean, this obsession with, there's so many good things you can talk about in it, but its main focus is just on how overhated Bear is, and like, no, Bear is the villain of the movie. The director Cory Barker has said himself he is the real villain, and it is true, and you see that throughout the film, like at least halfway through the film. But Alex doesn't seem to really see that at all in the film. He just seems to be like, oh, he's misguided, he's put in a tricky situation, he can't do anything about it really, so he like almost may as well make the most of it. That was just kind of like this scary toxic attitude he had throughout the video, and then making inappropriate jokes about the assault scene, how Nikki was trapped under it the whole time. No, very little sympathy towards Nikki, just kind of like, oh, she acts crazy, that's just how some people are in relationships. I mean, I just think it's crazy, his video that he did, even if he says, oh, some of this is sarcasm and jokes, it's his whole view just on the movie and women itself, which is the troubling things. Anyway, there were some great YouTube reviews about it. I know Marina, is her name Marina? Marina McBride did a great YouTube video on it. You guys should check that out. And anyway, yeah, I just wanted to come on and talk about that movie. I'll be out with a video very soon, actually, maybe the next few days. So stay tuned and goodbye.